Hello, and welcome to the Venue Coach Blueprint for Owners. I'm Kyle Labar. This podcast is all about helping you fill your wedding venue with more bookings, earn more from each one, and keep your customers happy for a long time. We'll also talk about some tough times and big lessons that I've learned along the way. Let's dive in together and make your venue the best spot for weddings. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Venue Coach. And today I want to actually go over something that transpired at one of our own venues that just caused for reflection and the need for having a good process and procedure around everything in your business. And this is true for any business, but I'm speaking specifically about venues just because that's the business I'm in. So what transpired was at one of our properties, we have lots of trees, and a couple of them have been, they've died and fallen over, and they're kind of removed from the property or from the main building and everything like that. So it's not really like a line of sight issue or anything like that, but it can be a bit of an eyesore if you are out to the property more often than not. And so it's been on our radar as owners to take care of these trees, but not a high priority because we have other plans and other goals for the money that we have available for maintaining and upgrading the property. And so in this particular instance, one of our staff was getting quotes for us to remove the trees, and it came back rather high, and then this individual had offered a friend of theirs who could do it for cheaper. And so one of our owners then said, okay, sure, go ahead. But come to find out, there was no discussion on cost or price or anything like that. And so then the work was finished, and one of the staff members said, well, it was a lot of work, but I think that at least this much X amount of dollars would be fair. And then we're in a situation where we are basically, it just feels like a bit, I don't want to say the wrong thing. So it put us in a situation that we didn't want to be in, and also it committed money to something that wasn't a priority for the money. And so now we're unable to do what some of the things that we wanted to do that were more important, or delay those things because of this extra expense that we weren't planning on. And so it's very important in any business that you don't just make snap decisions, and you definitely don't make decisions involving money or giving money out or away or paying for things without understanding the cost of it before you make that commitment. And so this was a lesson both for the staff member as well as for all of our owners, because we didn't really have a good procedure, and that was made clear through this particular story. And so the lesson that I took away from it is not everybody thinks like I do, and that's why you as the business owner, not everybody's thinking like you. Your staff aren't thinking like you. They aren't all like, they may not have bad intentions, and that wasn't the case here. There's no bad intentions. They weren't trying to take advantage of us or anything like that. And one of the owners said, "Go ahead and do it." And so there is no maliciousness, and that's the point that I want to get across. Despite there being no maliciousness, it was still a negative for the company. And so it's our job as owners to protect the company from those types of things happening. And the only way to do that without you being in control of everything, which doesn't actually serve the company that well, is putting standards and procedures in place to prevent things like that from happening. So the new standard and procedure for us to avoid those types of things in the future is to say that any purchasing that needs to happen above a certain threshold for this particular position has to be cleared by us first. And the expectation for staff members is that no work is to be completed until, especially in those situations, right? Higher dollar spend. No work is to be completed until the price is agreed upon. And so take that, use it. We're still learning every day. Nobody has all of the right answers, of course, but I wanted to share that with you guys and hopefully help you avoid a costly mistake. Now, it didn't cost us a whole lot. It wound up costing us, I'll just say it cost us about $1,000, which in the grand scheme of things, not a big deal, but it does delay some of the other things that we want to do. And so it just, it re-emphasized the importance of making sure that all priorities are aligned, and the way to do that is through proper procedures that are spelled out, so that way there's none of these gray areas where things like this can happen. And so you're not going to prevent everything, but as they come up, you start to write down the steps and the things that you ought to put in place so you don't make the mistake again. And so I hope this was helpful to somebody. Hopefully it helps you. If you haven't experienced something like that, hopefully it helps you avoid that. And if you have experienced it, well, let's put something in place so you can avoid that in the future so you don't keep making that mistake. If you found this meaningful or useful, drop a like, comment, subscribe, whatever you'd like to do, and stay tuned for the next one.